Hello and welcome to the Lctv News. In this edition of the Lctv News, relocation of the Senior Center, September 11th ceremony, Men's Mental Health Forum, sit down with the Food Project, and more. City of Lynn Mayor Thomas McGee announced that the City of Lynn is seeking to relocate the Senior Center from their location on Silsby Street by June 30th, 2020. In a statement, Mayor McGee says for several years, the city has been searching to secure its own facility to operate and manage the Senior Center. In order to identify qualities necessary for a relocated facility, the city will work with the Lynn Council on Aging in finding a new facility. 18 years after the September 11th attacks, residents gathered outside the Lynn Fire Station on Western Ave for the ringing of the last alarm. The 200-year-old tradition of the ringing of the alarm has become a symbol in announcing the death of a fellow firefighter who has returned home for the last time. Lynn firefighters, along with Lynn Police, lined up for the ceremonial salute to remember the lives lost during the 9/11 attacks. During Tuesday's City Council meeting, the City Council approved 3 cohesive plans that are aimed to re-imaging Lynn's waterfront with parks, public access, and development. Phase 2 will be adopting zoning changes, which the panel will sit down with Mayor McGee in the implementation of the 3 documents: an updated waterfront master plan, amended municipal harbor plan, and waterfront open space master plan. Brown, Richardson & Rowe, a landscape and architect and planning firm, and their large-scale visions of plan includes connecting the waterfront, transforming the city's former landfill into a public park, and linking the waterfront to downtown. According to Clarissa Rowe, a principal at Brown, Richardson + Rowe landscape and planning firm, one of the challenges that they face is the large gas tank that is directly in the middle of the site, which could hinder the creation of a continuous boardwalk. The waterfront master plan's focus is to transform the city's 305-acre waterfront site with residential, commercial, and industrial development. Essex Apothecary and Essence Labs were granted special permits by the City Council on Tuesday for the opening of their cannabis facility. Essex Apothecary plans to open a boutique-style recreational marijuana store on Western Ave, and Essence Lab plans to open a cannabis manufacturing facility on Sanderson Ave. The council also voted to table the proposed opening of DM Cannabis, an Oregon-based company seeking to open a 1,200 square foot East Lynn recreational marijuana shop. Many in the community voiced their displeasure of the proposed shops. Leading the charge in the opposition of the shops was the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Irvin Ochoa, pastor of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, in a statement says he, as well as members of the church, do not support any store that wants to sell drugs. If the council approves DM Cannabis's proposal, then it will be the 8th and final required marijuana retail license. Now for the police update. Lynn Police are investigating a vandalism incident at St. George Greek Orthodox Church Friday night. Antichrist symbols were discovered on the South Common building. Symbols such as an upside-down cross, the number 666, and an anarchy symbol was spray painted on the building. City officials all denounced the act and ensured that the City of Lynn will not stand for these type of acts. Lynn Police asked if anyone has any information on this incident to contact their tip line. The incident remains under investigation. Lynn Community Health Center, along with the Greater Lynn Senior Services, put together a men's health and wellness forum to bring awareness about men's mental health. Lctv was on the scene.
I welcome you all here, and thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to take care of something that is very important, right? What's that?
Our health. Yeah.
Your health. Okay, and I don't think you'll disagree with me that men are the ones who don't usually pay attention to their health until something bad happens. Then your children and your partners, your spouses, going to carry the load.
Okay? And the heart is a pump. Okay? So when you listen to the heart, how many sounds do you hear when you listen to a heartbeat?
2.
There's 2. So it sounds do, 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 do. Okay? Why?
Going in and out.
Yeah, so going in and out. So the heart isn't a motor. It doesn't continuously run. It's a pump, right? So it pumps, it pushes the blood out to carry it to the body, and then it has to have a relaxing part where it opens up and the blood can fill in again. Okay? So it's doing this. It's going do, 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 do. Okay?
I don't need the sugar. Body doesn't know to do that. Body takes up all the sugar because the body runs on sugar. Just like a car runs on gas, your body runs on sugar. So then you eat your food, your sugar goes up, now you got to process all that sugar out because the body doesn't know what to do with it. It knows it needs it, but then all it does is, okay, I'm going to suck it all up. Now it's got to do its job inside my body. So then the body makes insulin. So you eat something, your sugar goes up, and then your body says, okay, I've got a lot of sugar in me. I just had an ice cream sundae. So then your insulin goes up, and insulin processes the sugar, and everything comes back down to a normal level.
This past Wednesday, members of the Guatemalan community gathered at City Hall for the Guatemalan flag raising ceremony, and Lctv was on hand.
We also have Guatemalan flag, which is carried by Mr. Carlos Rivera and is accompanied by Maritza Jensen and Daphne Gomez-Giron.
El pabellón de la ciudad de Lynn es portado por Lynette Fuentes y el mayor Tom McGee.
The flag from the city of Lynn is carried by Lynette Fuentes and is accompanied by our mayor, Tom McGee.
Lctv sent a crew to the Lynn Museum for the gala opening reception. We spoke with the organizers about the exhibit.
gathered here at Gala. Welcome to our plein air exhibit, and thank you for coming. I would like to introduce our curator for this show, who's worked tirelessly to put together this fabulous exhibit. Would you like to say a few words? This is Jessica Jordan.
Thank you. I wrote a couple things down as I get nervous with public speaking. But thank you for coming to Gala's plein air opening. Plein air, as a lot of you might know, in its most traditional and restrictive definition, describes art that has been completed in the presence of its outdoor subject. As you will have undoubtedly looked around at this point, that is not the definition that we went with. I feel a good exhibition has something for everyone. Letting the artists decide what their plein air would be was the best way to get something unexpected. I was very happy with the variety of work that came in. I hope you will enjoy them as well. So much that you may want to make them additions in your home. And if you want to take something home tonight, we have the community project. It's a silent auction. And if you're looking for an investment, number 11 was done by Lynn's own age, who's 3 years old. And at that young age, has already been accepted with her photography into the City Hall project and exhibited in a gallery. She's clearly on her way up, and you'll want to get her while she's still affordable. Thank you, Jessica.
Lctv collaborated with the Downtown Lynn Cultural District to create the music video What's the Name of This Place, which premiered this past Tuesday at the 70th anniversary of Lynn City Hall. Here is What's the Name of This Place.
La-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di-dum, what's the name of this place? La-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di-dum, what's the name of this place? It's got la-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di, so many fun things to do. La-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di, I give up, I'll ask you. La-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di-dum, what's the name of this place?
La-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di, you should write it down just in case. I've heard it said with arts and culture, this city has a face. So la-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di, what's the name of this place?
La-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di-dum,
what's the name of this place?
La-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di-dum, it's full of interesting space. It's got la-di-da-di and la-di-da-di, local award-winning food. La-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di, if we can't think of it, we're
hey!
Hey! La-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di-dum, what's the name of this place?
La-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di, it's staring us all in the face. It's got music shopping, there's just no stopping.
It's the heart of downtown Lynn. La-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di, it's what we're all standing in. La-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di-dum.
What's the name of this place?
La-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di-dum, what's the name of this place?
It boasts the smartest leaders and artists. It's like a warm embrace.
But
la-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di-dum. name of this place? I know in time it'll come to mind as I sit on this staircase. But la-di-da-di-dum, la-di-da-di-dum. What is the name of this place?
Now for a weather update with meteorologist Justin Perry.
Happy Friday the 13th. I'm meteorologist Justin Perry reporting for Lynn Community Television. We have a wonderful stretch of late summer weather upon us as we go into this weekend. Generally speaking, we're looking at seasonal temperatures mixed in with some above normal temperatures as the jet stream adjusts to the changing seasons. Our weather headlines for this week are, first, we're in a dry pattern as high pressure area over New England should last through the weekend. And then our next chance of some showers comes on Monday of next week. Secondly, the tropical Atlantic is becoming very active. Current computer model data suggests that we will see possibly 2 systems form along the east coast of the United States over the next 10 days. So let's look at the pattern for the upcoming week. We see a high pressure system off of the east coast, and this is the area where we're suggesting our tropical system, which will be named Umberto, will form over the Bahamas, ironically, and then perhaps either slide up the coast or be stuck under this high pressure area and kind of swirl about under the Carolinas. So we'll need to see how the combination of this high pressure and forming Umberto evolves over the week, and we need to watch these storm systems that are traveling along the US-Canadian border to see if maybe one of them can reach down enough to grab Umberto and bring him up the coast. So we need to see if this high pressure blocks Umberto, or if we can actually get him drawn northward by one of these systems along the Canadian border. It should be noted that the European model has suggested that impacts from the system could reach as far north as New England, so we need to keep an eye on this within the next coming days. As for our weekly forecast, well, today we have sunny skies and temperatures in the 60s. On Saturday, we'll be a little bit warmer with temperatures in the 70s with southwest winds, except an outside shot of maybe a shower or thunderstorm late Saturday night into Sunday morning. On Sunday, temperatures in the low 80s with wind shifting to the west. A nice day. And then on Monday, a chance of showers, but they should be light and scattered with a high of 74, so not too much rain on Monday. On Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll see highs in the 70s. And then on Thursday, we're warming back up towards the upper 70s with southerly winds. Clouds and precipitation chances will depend on what happens with the future of Umberto. Again, stay tuned for updates just in case some tropical trouble comes our way late next week. That's your 7-day forecast. Tune in next Friday for another weekly forecast. And for Lynn Community Television, I'm meteorologist Justin Perry. Have a great week.
Now for the sports update. The St. Mary Spartans in their season opener last night at Manning Field shut out Boston English 6-0. In a defensive battle, the Spartans were able to take advantage of a short field, and running back George Percy got loose for a 23-yard run that set up the Spartans quarterback Derek O'Leary's 3-yard touchdown rush for the only touchdown of the game. After a Boston English turnover, the Spartans put together a 6-minute drive, which left Boston English little time to put together a game-winning drive. The Spartans will face off against South Boston next Friday at Manning Field. Lynn English and Lynn Classical's crosstown rivalry took to Manning Field for bragging rights on Thursday. The Bulldogs came out victorious 3-0 in their first meeting of the season. Chris Lazo scored the first goal of the game after a free kick was granted to the Bulldogs. Ryan Lima would add a second goal with 28 minutes left in the game to make it 2-0. A third goal was scored with about a minute left that all but sealed the victory for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs will face off against Salem on Monday, while the Rams take on Malden on Tuesday. The St. Mary's Lady Spartans soccer team fell to 0-3 on the season after their 3-0 loss to Malden Catholic. The Spartans will try to get their first win of the season Monday night as they take on Cardinal Spellman. Lynn English football kicks off its season opener on the road as they take on Swampscott tonight at 7 p.m. at Block Sage Field in the 5th annual Blydell Cup. The Bulldogs have won the past 3 meetings and are looking to win their 4th in a row. Last season, the Bulldogs gave Swampscott their first defeat of the season in a tight battle. They look to add another chapter in the Lynn-Swampscott rivalry. Lynn Classical takes the field tonight in a non-conference matchup against Brockton at Manning Field at 7 p.m. Classical looks to start the season 1-0. Thursday night football saw the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeat the Carolina Panthers 20-14 in Carolina. Jameis Winston led the way for the Bucs, throwing for 208 yards and 1 touchdown. Peyton Barber rushed for 83 yards on 23 carries. Barber also added a touchdown. Third-year receiver Chris Godwin continued his stellar performance early in the season. Godwin caught 8 passes for 121 yards and a touchdown. The Bucs defense sacked Panthers quarterback Cam Newton 3 times and forced a fumble. The Bucs, now 1-1 on the season, will face off against the Giants in Tampa Bay. The Panthers, who will look to avoid going 0-3 on the season, travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals in Week 3. The Boston Red Sox defeated the Toronto Blue Jays 7-4. Last night, Marco Hernandez got things going with a 2-run double in the top of the 2nd inning. The Sox kept the momentum going in the 3rd inning with J.D. Martinez's double to the right that brought in Xander Bogaerts to make it 3-0. Toronto will get 2 runs in the 5th inning to cut the lead to 4-2, but Brock Holt's single in the 7th, followed by Xander Bogaerts' single to center, made the score 6-2. The Sox will add another run in the top of the 9th to put the game away. The win ended the Sox' 5-game losing streak. Next up for the Sox is a 2-game series with the Philadelphia Phillies beginning Saturday in Philadelphia. On the Lynn Lowdown, we sat down with John Wang, Regional Director of the Food Project North Shore. Here is this week's Lowdown. Welcome to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm your host, Mukala Kabongo, and today we got Regional Director, Program Director, Program Director at a Food Project North Shore, Mr. John Wang. How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
You know, my summer's over, so.
Yeah, mine too.
So Regional Director of the Food Project, what does that entail?
Yeah, so I do like a lot of support. So Food Project does a lot of like youth development work. We do a lot of community engagement partnership, and we do like a lot of food, sustainable ag farming, food systems work. And so kind of my role is to help like support all those components of the organization, and then, you know, make connections, support the staff, and just like, you know, kind of help steward like kind of our vision, mission, like as we move forward here in Lynn.
Yeah, how long have you been in this position?
Yeah, for me, I've been lucky to be here. This is starting my 15th year, so I've been here for a while. So I was part of the founding team in 2005 with Jay Harrison, Melissa Diamond. We worked with Kim Powers at Ingalls Elementary School and got it started here. And so worked here until 2009, went to our Greater Boston site for a few years, and then came back up in like this capacity.
Yes, what are some of the initiatives that you guys been getting involved with the past couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, one of the biggest impacts that I think like Lynn has had, like the Food Project in Lynn, is like the farmers market has been huge, and so it's supporting a lot of SNAP, you know, recipients like throughout the city, and has led to the creation of a Boston initiative called Boston Bounty Bucks, which then led to a state initiative called the Healthy Incentives Program, which is just currently got funded by an amount of $6.5 million to help SNAP recipients be able to increase their purchasing power to have access to more fresh, culturally relevant food, and while driving a lot of that money back into the local community, so it's not leaving like, you know, these areas of Massachusetts. So that's one big thing. We're doing that all in partnership with young people, so high school students, so they're doing like a lot of meaningful work with that. And, you know, we're doing some kinds of initiatives called Lynn Grows here, which I think some folks have come and talked about that a little bit. So it's mostly a resident-directed kind of vision of how to build a better food system here in Lynn. And so the food project then uses kind of that input from residents and community members to leverage our resources, as opposed to other nonprofits or organizations coming into a community and saying this is what you should do. Like, we're trying to use our resources to support what community members know what's best.
Yeah.
And so those are two big things.
Yeah, and you guys also have, with you spoke about the high school program with the kids. You guys, each summer, you guys have the kids working on the farms throughout the summer, getting their farmers stand on.
Oh yeah, got my own serious one.
Yeah.
I can show. That's a little bit right there.
Yeah, how is that for them, just getting accustomed to working in a farm, having a summer job?
Yeah. No, I mean, part of it is youth are coming, so we hire young folks from the city and suburbs around in the North Shore, and so we have a farm site here in Lynn that's 1 acre, a farm site in Wenham that's about 33 acres, so it's very different. And so we pay for all public transportation to make sure it's accessible for everyone to get to places. And so youth are coming with all sorts of kinds of needs, folks are looking just for a job to make money, they're looking for community service hours, their parents made them do it, they have sibling kind of connections, legacy kind of stuff. And then when they go through that experience, they learn a lot about how to hold a first job, how to manage your money. And we also do kind of raising awareness about social justice and food justice issues. And so folks are learning about how their food realities and lived experiences are different from each other. Yeah. And then how do you talk to each other about that? So how do you balance two truths that are very different, and how can you get to reach a richer place of conversation? Gotcha. So we do a lot about that, and then they graduate, they come back, and then there's a whole slew of things they can go through.
Yeah. Now, recently, you guys, this summer, you guys announced a collaboration with Lynn Tech. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So Carissa, principal at Lynn Tech, approached myself and Jen Coverdale, who's our urban farm manager, and was interested in partnering with the food project to potentially farm section of the school's yard abutting Neptune Boulevard. And so we're super excited about it because our partnership at Ingalls with Ingalls Elementary has been really strong and been a foundation. And then if we're partnering with Tech, that's another land site. It helps replace the loss of Monroe Street that we used to have close by. And then so now we have that farming site, and it's a demographic of youth age range that we actually work with. And so what can we do? We were talking a little bit about the co-op program and just other kinds of pieces of where other younger folks, not just from the food project, but from the community, from the school, and just community and residents, we're interested in engaging with the principal and surrounding community members to envision what does that space look like. So it's not just food project space, but it's owned by all.
And this project is set to take off sometime next year?
Yeah, we're still in the process kind of around that. They're most likely spring, I would say, and then we're going to be doing some work in terms of engaging with the school administration, students, RN youth and community members to get some feedback around that, to build a site that works for everyone's needs.
Now, North Shore Community College got the greenhouse over there. Do you guys work with them as well?
Yep.
With some things. What are some of the things that you guys do with North Shore Community College?
Yeah, so that's been a great partnership with Eric Froworth, who is a former dean of horticulture and culinary over there, helped us start that partnership. And just horticulture students are coming and are interested in more urban ag kind of practices and everything. And so it seemed to make sense with all the food work that was happening here to have a greenhouse that could be used for student education, community engagement, and also attached to real meaningful work for a food project, to engage with community. And those things coming together seemed like a natural fit. And so instead of us traveling 45 minutes to Beverly for a greenhouse that we have there, now we can walk across the street a minute. All of the food that that we're growing here and seedlings that are going out to community gardens is grown in Lynn. And like, you know, it's serving as an education point for students who are interested in getting in that work, and then just like for young people to see kind of that. There's like, you know, as we're forming these partnerships, which are pretty recent, is there like connections between schools that we can do? Like we have elementary school connections with salad days and harvest days, so we do that at all the elementary school, or most of the elementary schools. And then we have some high school connections, and then we have North Shore Community College connections, and we have UMass Extension connections. Like, is there something like to explore like around those relationships?
Yeah. You guys definitely got a lot of relationships in the city.
Yeah, you got a lot.
All right, and we were talking about it before we came on air. You were also talking about having like a pop-up kind of thing, where you just go around and bring different things to communities. So talk about that for a bit.
Yeah, so the Lynn Central Square Market, which happens on Thursdays, 11 to 3, interesting time, and it's just like one of the most successful markets in the state. We are interested in trying to find out, are there other places like in the city that could evolve into something like that too, to create access for folks that might not be able to come to that market or elsewhere that want to get access to fresh, culturally relevant food. And so recently we worked with Massachusetts Department of Agriculture and Resources, MDAR, and they awarded us a grant to build a mobile market trailer. And so you'll see in the city, like you'll see a white cargo van with a food project label and like a little trailer on the back. And we're test piloting like markets like throughout the city and to see if we can establish something similar. And so 2 of those, just like a plug for it, is just like one of them is going to be happening at Ingalls, you know, Farm Wednesdays starting next Wednesday throughout October from 1 to 2:30, and then we'll do some random ones which we'll market, but that one's the most consistent one. So y'all should come.
Yeah, y'all should come. All right. 10 minutes left. Lastly, if they will, tell them the farm sites, and if they want to know any information about the food project, tell them where to get it.
I mean, go to thefoodproject.org. Come and check. It's like fairly navigable. You can find out how to volunteer, do a work exchange for produce, like some internships, high school jobs, and then if you go to lynngrows.org, you can see like an initiative that we're working with the community members about how to build a better food system. Those are 2 ways.
All right, and that's it. We've run a course. Mr. John Wang, thank you very much, sir, for coming along.
Oh, thank you.
All right, you guys been watching the Lynn Lowdown. Have a great day. And now time for some local upcoming events. Beginning today and lasting until November 22nd, the Fall Teen Drop-In Center will be taking place at Lynn Tech Fieldhouse from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. The event is open to Lynn teens ages 13 through 18. Free pizza and water will be available for those in attendance. The 39th annual Goldfish Pond Fun and Flea Day is taking place this Saturday, September 14th from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. The most popular flea market in Lynn and a great family event. Food, raffles, boat rides, and baked goods will be available to those in attendance. Proceeds from the Fun and Flea Day will go towards maintaining Goldfish Pond. On Saturday, September 14th, the Lynn Police and Lynn Fire Department Family Fun Day will take place at Lynn Woods from 9:30 until 2 p.m. Food, races, raffles, and bouncy houses are some of the highlights for the family event. Gates will open at 9 a.m. for number pickup and the same-day entry. Also on Saturday, the 6th annual Stop the Violence Peace Walk will be happening from 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. The walk will begin at Lynn English Courts and will end at Warren Street Park. On Wednesday, September 18th, the first of 3 Lynn Community Association candidate forums will take place at LynnArts. The forum will begin at 7 p.m. Greater Lynn Senior Services will be hosting its monthly In the Moment Memory Cafe at the Lynn Museum from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. In the Moment Memory Cafe is a monthly program that provides opportunities to network and enjoy refreshments and connect with caregiver support specialists. Lctv's next Paramount film series will take place on Monday, October 21st. The movie choice for October is The Exorcist. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. Movie begins at 7 p.m. Free popcorn and beverages will be available. Thank you for watching the LCTV News. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit us at LynnTV.org to watch any show, anytime on your computer, tablet, or phone. I'm Mukala Kabongo. Have a great day.